Welcome to Professional Mariner Conversations, brought to you by the editors at Professional Mariner Magazine and ProfessionalMariner.com. Each interview is your direct link to a maritime industry personality discussing issues affecting your career. And now, here's our latest conversation.
This is Alex Agnew, publisher of Professional Mariner Magazine. I recently visited Maine Maritime Academy and interviewed President Bill Brennan. Maine Maritime has 950 full-time students, 84% of them men. About half of the students are enrolled in the regimental program. In the past few years, 90% of graduates have found employment within 90 days of graduation. Applications are increasing, and the school has invested $1 million in a new simulator. Here's our interview with President Bill Brennan. President Brennan, what are Maine Maritime's advantages and offerings in relation to the other maritime academies?
The state maritime academies are extremely important to the United States and provide significant value to the United States because we produce 70% of the licensed manpower for about $17 million, as opposed to the $100 million that that is spent at the Federal Academy. What sets Maine Maritime Academy apart, in my view, is really some of the changes that evolved over time to address extant circumstances. We are a program that is now 50% regimental, so we've added significant elements that are in line with our original mission, but provided us an opportunity to kind of depart a bit from the traditional role. So now we have somewhere in excess of 400 students who are in either a marine science track, a business and logistics track, or are in a track for a limited license up to as much as 1,600 tons. So it's provided us with an opportunity to move into kind of niche markets that I think better position us overall to be successful not only in attracting students but also in providing placement opportunities.
What will you be doing to reach more young people to make them aware of the attractions of a career in the marine field?
Well, we are in a pretty nice place right now, and I'm not talking just geographically. Our applications for admissions are going through the roof. There's probably a number of reasons for that. But one of the things is clearly that Maine Maritime Academy education is recognized as something of value. 60% at least of our population are Maine kids. They see it as a place that they want to go because of where they see themselves going in the future. I mean, that's one of the things that has impressed me about the students here. These kids, by and large, are focused far more than I can recall I was when I was in pursuing a liberal arts degree. In fact, last year I was on board the ship during the cruise, and late at night on the bridge wing. There's a freshman who was standing as bridge watch, and that kid knew what kind of house he wanted to build with, and on what piece of property he was going to buy with money that he wasn't going to earn for 3 or 4 or 5 more years. I mean, so they're focused. They see where they want to go, and that therefore is reflected in the number of applications we're receiving. In fact, we've had to what I refer to as enrollment management. It was part of my President's State of the Academy report. We've changed some of the ways in which we we deal with our admissions because we were getting so many applications that we had to get a better handle on that and change some of the deadlines and whatnot. I think that that we get quality students already, and what I mean by that is that we get kids that not only have good academic standing, but also are kids that want to be here, that have the greatest opportunity to be successful in this kind of program. And this kind of program has a lot of challenges associated or compared to a liberal arts school. I mean, kids don't go in the regiment because they necessarily think it's going to be a lot of fun, and parts of it are not. But the regiment does provide them with a certain type of disciplined learning, and Castine is certainly at the end of the dog's tail geographically, so we don't have a lot of access to a lot of the kind of amenities that other schools might. And that's further testament to the type of kids that we have here. I mean, they are here for a reason. So, as I say, at the outset in response to this question, I mean, we have kind of a nice problem. We have too many students applying. I mean, we really are in a pretty sweet spot.
Why are applications going through the roof?
Economic circumstances has something to do with that. It also has to do with communication. I mean, there's more and more word out there that this is several years now that we've achieved 95, somewhere in excess of 95% placement within 90 days of graduation in their career fields. Some of those kids making six figures, and so that word kind of gets out at a time when there's challenges in the economy, and I think it might also have to do with this millennial generation. I mean, they've certainly been coddled, and there's a lot of influence from their parents, about success, and so maybe it's a societal matter that there's more of a desire to pursue an education is going to lead to a career. I don't have any hard figures to support that. Those are some of the things that we speculate. Those are certainly some of the things that our students say as reasons for pursuing this kind of education.
What changes is the Academy considering to make the education it offers more in tune with changes in the industry, specifically electronic navigation, DP, boom and deep water, STCW rules, diminished blue water fleet?
Well, I think the most dramatic thing that we can do to demonstrate to you the kind of thing that we do here to be contemporary is to take you down and show you the simulator. If you haven't been down there, that's a real tangible demonstration of the kinds of changes that we've made. But I think, Alex, that one of the principles of Maine Maritime Academy is that it recognizes that it has to be adaptable to be successful. It has to be closely in tune with the industry that it serves, and frankly, that industry has certainly broadened for us, over the last several years. Whereas before we were just deep water, the deep water fleets. Now we have kids working in power plants, nuclear power plants down in Maryland. We have kids that are working as marine resource managers, as well as